What's up, everybody? All right, so we are in my garage, March 16th,
19.
19th. Yeah, it's a crazy time right now, and I'm here with a couple of friends. Behind the camera is Anson, and he's gonna talk to us because we don't want to invite a whole bunch of people here. Three of us have been hanging out before the coronavirus, so I think we're safe. We don't really go out and meet people, so we're kind of self-quarantining ourselves with a project car. So basically, we've taken this crisis as an opportunity to get together, being responsible, but working on a project, kind of collaborating artistically, just being able to talk about it, being able to kind of learn what this technology was in 1963, and just kind of go through this crazy time together, with one another and do something positive. So that's where we are.
So what inspired you to look for a car for a new project?
Well, Mikey and I have been talking about doing a project together, and originally we were thinking about doing a 240, but something that hopefully that's something in the future. But I was also looking for a truck for one of the characters in the film that I'm directing. And my directorial debut, it has a character named Bob, and he has a beat-up truck, or El Camino, in the script. So I wanted to look for something with character, and then I was on Craigslist, and I looked up Datsun, and this thing came out, and I've never seen this before. I've never seen a Datsun 320. It just has 60 horsepower. It's called a Datsun 1200. That's the badging, and it has a crankshaft. It has a choke. It has 4 on the tree, that means that instead of a manual on the floor, it's like right here. I've never even driven one of those cars, and I've never even started a car with a crank starter before. So it's like this wonderful education. It's a kind of a great project to learn. But anyway, going back to your question, that's how I discovered him. That was the inspiration. So then I went to go look at the car, met the owner. He was Hawaiian. I called Mike. He brought his trailer. I told him, tell him what happened, Mike.
What's the conversation like when he called you?
So I woke up early Sunday morning to a bright text from Sung saying, "Call me, I got a surprise for you." And I wasn't sure exactly what was going to come back as soon as I asked what he got. And he sent me a picture of this thing. And at first I was like, what is he thinking? And then I started to see some of the lines of the truck, and I'm like, man, this could be a cool project. And so I think after that text, it was about 2 hours, and we had this truck in our hands and on its way over here to kind of tear into it to see what we got. So.
And then we named it Oppa. You want to explain why we're calling it Oppa?
Yeah, so Oppa translates to older brother, correct?
Correct.
And this will be the older brother to the FuguZ's, the 240Z that Sung built a couple years ago. And the cool thing about that as well is the FuguZ's is a 1973, and this is a 1963.
Nice. Have you worked on Datsuns before?
Yeah, so...
Future legend here.
Yeah, really?
I predict. You can put your money on this guy.
Okay.
So,
nice.
I've been in the automotive industry my whole life, and a little bit of everything, but it's kind of always circled around the Japanese cars, Subarus, that sort of thing.
How come?
I just found I just draw a liking towards them. Something about, like with the Subarus, like small displacement, turbocharged, decent amount of horsepower. And just the styling characteristics of Japanese cars, I just feel just fits my liking.
Who taught you?
Yeah, so I was blessed to be raised in a family that was very automotive oriented. My dad kind of raised us in the garage rather than on the football field, and I'm really grateful for that. And my dad's full-time in the automotive industry as well, and he pretty much taught me everything I know when it comes to these sort of things. And we always grew up with a Datsun of some sort in our garage.
But he knows his way around American cars because his father, Mike Spagnola Sr., he was pretty much the brains and brawn behind the Maverick Underdog. And Mike helped work on that too.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Sung and I first kind of started to turn wrenches together, and kind of where the blood started pumping for a future project without us even knowing it.
But Sung, why did you choose a Datsun again, or like why did you search that in the first place?
Well, I'm always looking for like a 240, just kind of out on the market. I want to see like what the prices are. You know, my daily kind of habit, cadence when I wake up is I go on Craigslist and I look at old 240s. I search Datsuns, and then it's just kind of a hobby of mine. And then if there's a candidate, I'll actually call or email, and I'll actually physically go there and look at the car. And that's how I bought the FuguZ's. That's how I bought the Maverick. So I love that process of meeting the owner, driving somewhere. This car was in Monterey Park. So I went to meet the owner, and the owner, you can tell a lot about the car when you meet the owner. And this dude had just this kind of Hawaiian aloha chill, and he said he bought the car in Hawaii. The car's an original California car. It landed in La Puente. That's where it lived for most of its life, and then it shipped to Hawaii for some reason. He bought it in 2000, then brought it back to Monterey Park in 2001. And it's been sitting pretty much in storage since then. And I think he's recently put it outside. He tried to work on it. He lowered it, but then he kind of just gave up. And then, but it's been taken care of. It's like, I'm telling you, this is not a girl car because for some reason this speaks like old dude that just like won't stop like kicking. I mean, it's like my father-in-law. He just keeps going. It's like endless. It's all beat up, but it's like, I don't care. It's like a matter of pride. And I'm telling you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell a lot. You met Aaron.
Yeah.
What was your impression?
I mean, yeah, first of all, like, same thing, just super chill dude. And it was cool, like I bought a lot of cars where guys buy them, and it's just kind of like that project that sat on the side forever, and they just were getting it out of their hair. But Aaron really cared about this thing, and you could kind of tell that talking from him, and he had vision in it. I don't think he had time to complete that vision, but
yeah.
But
he wants
had
to stay in
passion.
touch, which is cool. That's awesome. I love after the transformation, like getting the original owner to go and take a drive.
Oh, nice.
I mean, the FuguZ's was like that. We bought it from a man who came to the revealing when we did it at Gretty, and he got to sit in it, and he got to turn it over, and
Nice.
get the whole experience. And that's what we'd like to do for Aaron.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the spirit of this car. The goal of this car, with all of this ancient technology, wouldn't it be a cool experience to teach a first-time driver how to drive a manual in this car, starting it up, crank, having to choke it, it's the column shifter, having to find the gears and work the clutch, having to roll down the window, it's like, being in neutral and understanding how to, feel the car. And because it's such a low horsepower engine, you can still use the torque to go up hills, right? But it's a manipulation of, machine with your kind of dance. You have to find kind of the dance of the song. Like, what's the Oppa dance? Is it slow? Is it like a like an old timer, like or is it is it gonna be like this? Or is it gonna be ho ho? I don't know. Or is it gonna be like Gangnam Style? I don't know. What do you think, Mike? What do you want the dance to be?
We'll find out here fairly soon, I guess.
The Oppa dance. See,
Oppa dance.
That's how you work on a car. You gotta find the car's dance, the song.
Yeah. That's really all that you need to know is the car's dance, and the rest is easy, right?
Car song, yeah.
What was your first impression, Mike, when you walked
Yeah,
up?
what was your first
Yeah.
impression?
Well, first of all, just after doing like that initial walk around, I realized that we got a very solid candidate for
No,
any
when
sort of
you
project.
first saw it.
When you
when I
first
first
When
saw
you
it.
pulled up,
you got
you
out
were
of the
like,
car,
"What?"
walked up.
Well, my first impression was, wow, this thing's tiny. And in pictures and stuff, that didn't come across when you first sent me a couple screenshots of it. And then I started to see, there's some lines on this thing that you can't see from a 2D image. And just like the
Like what?
shape of the fenders and the...
Here, which is like a Mini Cooper. It's a
Yeah.
knockoff of a Mini Cooper, man.
Yeah,
Don't you
and-
think?
Yeah, exactly. It's a
It is,
knockoff
yeah.
of a Mini Cooper. Like just the way that the lights work and the grill and just overall, it's just a cool looking truck that didn't come across when I first saw the pictures. And so as soon as I saw it in person, it was like, yeah, we got something here.
Yeah, it's special.
Is this pretty hard to find? Like, is this a unique model year?
Have you ever seen one?
I've never seen one in person.
That's crazy.
I knew that Datsun had a fleet of old trucks, like old trucks, other than like the 620. That's very common.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't know about this thing at all. Even the motor, I think it's a E1 motor, right?
E1, yeah.
I've never heard of an E1 motor in all my,
It's kind of a
Datsun
cool name
findings.
for a motor, E1.
So when you get a car like this and you want to, restore it, build it up, like what's the first things you want to do? Like, what are your first goals? Both of your first goals right now.
Hey
for
man,
Oppa?
first thing first, man, you gotta clean it. You gotta clean the car. I like to sit with the car at night by myself, kind of talk to the car, kind of clean it, touch it, like get into every corner, see where, there's rust issues. Like when you're down like this, that's why I wear glasses when I work on the car, because as I get older, I can see close up because I'm nearsighted. But if I wear contacts, I'm like this. So I like to really get into to every kind of corner, every part of the car, clean it up, see what we can refurbish, and then but why not celebrate the patina of certain elements of the engine?
Yeah.
Patina,
right?
what's that?
Patina is a Greek word for old paint. Old paint.
Is this for real? Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Patina,
Google
like
it.
when
Okay.
like a car. This has no patina. You see that? It's
Uh-huh.
like a new paint job, right? But this, you see all this? This, for some people this is damaged, but then I think after 25 years, it becomes a thing called patina. It's a beautiful way to say junky rust bucket paint job. The patina.
Patina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
It's
you're,
that's the offensive way. Like, ooh, I really love the patina, which really means, damn, your car is a piece of crap. But so never name your daughter Patina. I don't think that's a good name for a daughter, Patina. What do you
Okay.
think?
No, definitely not.
But hey, the patina is like in the last, what do you say, like 10 years? Patina has become a thing. Like dudes will find a car like this, get it running, and put some like little this and that on there, and then take it to SEMA.
yeah.
And then go, look, it's the patina.
SEMA is the
SEMA
Big auto
stands
show?
for,
Specialty Equipment Marketing Association.
yes, every year
Vegas, right?
November, Yeah.
in November in Nevada,
Vegas, yeah.
Las Vegas, United States. And it's like, it would be called the Mecca for every car guy. Like you go there and it's like, dudes, it's like Comic-Con for car guys. Like all these car dudes are there with like their bags and stuff, and they're just like
Oh, that sounds fun.
all day. Yeah. Every part, wheels, turbos, paint, glass.
And so people build and restore cars and bring it there.
Yeah. He had a car there last year.
Nice. What kind of car?
Last year we built a 1966 Datsun Roadster, and I shoved a like a 400 horsepower SR20 in it.
Hey, how come you think, like, for car dudes, SEMA's such a, like... See, every year, like, guys race the clock to make it to SEMA deadline in November. But what? It's, like, such a stressful, self-induced kind of thing. But it's like a rite of passage, don't you think?
It is, yeah. So this was my first year doing a build by myself. I've been a part of a couple, but this was the first time by myself. And it was... When I finished that car, I told myself I would never, ever, ever do it again because the stress that you go through for those, 4 or 5 months and just the financial burden and like I could go through a whole list.
Yeah, your dad says that every car for the last, like, how old is he? Like 100? 100 years?
Yeah.
I think his first car was like a Model T.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
It didn't even have a motor. He had to pedal it on the Flintstone.
Flintstone?
Okay, so going back to first goals, after you clean it and look over every inch, then what? What's next, you think?
So I think the idea right now is for us to get it running and driving under stock power.
Yeah, but safe.
Yeah, get it safe. So go through all the hydraulics and...
So what's wrong with it right now?
So right now it's just a whole bunch of hydraulic issues, both clutch and brake. We actually fired the motor, and
How was that?
that was a fun experience.
Sounds like a sewing machine.
Yeah.
The heartbeat, the heart is strong. He has a strong heart. The odometer says 60-something thousand miles. It might be, what if there were the honest miles, that this was only driven 60,000 miles. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be cool. It'd be cool if we could keep this engine here.
Mm-hmm.
So after you try to start it up and drive it maybe around the block, then that kind of helps determine what the next steps are?
No, you gotta spend some more time with it. You gotta get a sleeping bag, come out, talk to it, like around 3 a.m. You gotta go, yo, Oppa, what are you feeling like doing? You want some new shoes? You want some new wheels? What kind? You want the new Jordans or you want the Watanabes, Hey, you like patina? Or are you done looking like an old man and you want a little facelift? You want to go to the plastic surgeon over in K-Town? Because I know a guy that can get rid of this patina and give you original factory paint coat glass. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you want to talk to it. You want to ask the car will speak for itself.
So many people are motor swapping cars left and right, and to get a car with an E1, which is a fairly rare motor in Datsuns, and 2 for it to be a numbers matching motor, it would kind of be.
What does that mean for people? Numbers matching. What does that mean to the car guy?
So originally, the cars come with this VIN tag, and the VIN tag on this one says the engine number. And so like a numbers matching car all aligns with the serial numbers on the VIN tag. And
this number is 240-2067. Say it with me. 240-2067. 240 2467. No, 240.
Yeah, that was wrong.
240-2067. All right.
You guys keep talking about Restomod and Purist. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
So, Restomod is a term kind of made up in the automotive community that doesn't have strict boundaries. But the basis of it is taking an older car and putting modern technology in it, whether that be suspension or motor, that sort of thing. That's considered like a resto mod.
But it's broad.
It's very broad.
Right? You can mix the original parts with newer parts, still resto mod, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or is that, what's a rat rod?
So I guess a rat rod would be more like you said, the patina, keeping it...
But it's what you decide to call it, right?
Yeah.
So this could be a rat rod, or it could be a resto mod. Mm-hmm. or it could be a purist car. Right now,
So
it's purist.
what's a purist?
Purist is pure. Like I think pure comes from the Greek word peruka. It means pure, like nothing else, like water. There's nothing in it.
Yeah.
So it's pure. So
Okay.
there's no like modern parts or parts from another car. It's like the original OEM from the factory parts. If it's replaced, it was the
Right.
original part for this car. That's a purist. And some guys are like, you should never do like a newer engine or change the color. You should keep it the way it was. But then there's like a modern purist, which is like, just use Porsche parts, right? And you're like, okay, I guess that's purist, right? We're not purist. We're more, what would you say we are? We're like,
And you're not resto mods, right?
no, we're not. I don't know. That's too broad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want more singular, like, okay, we are.
So what are you guys then?
Uh,
It's a tough one, huh? There's no term that exists.
No. What are we?
I think we got to work on that one a little bit.
Dreamist.
Dreamists?
No.
Artists?
It's an artistic expression, but then we're also, I think, for me, it's like the journey is like really important. The shared experience, but then also, I don't know. There's a relationship with the car when you're able to bring it to life and put this kind of ethos into it, and it can't just come from me. It comes from everybody that touches the car and who they represent, right? So, I don't know. I'm maybe a car birthist. No, I don't wanna that's not good. No.
But you guys, you're kind of like storytellers, though,
Are we?
right?
I don't know. I'm not about story. Well, what do you mean?
Like you want to know where this car came from, who owned it, where it located, then
Yeah.
you want to. You don't want that to go away, so you want to keep some of it there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so there's still a reminder of the story, but then
Yeah.
you also want to write your own new story
Yeah.
and make include other people in the story and how they're gonna.
Yeah, we want to share the soul and the spirit of the car. We take out of context what we want to put into the narrative of this car, and we go, Oppa is a car that's a California car from La Puente, brought here from Japan, lived here, and then went to Hawaii, lived in Hawaii, was bought by Aaron, who realized it was a California car. He moved back to Monterey Park, brought the truck with him, and that's its story. It's like it's like a local California truck back. And now, the story continues. It's like chapter 2 of Oppa's like new life, because I don't know what his name was before. I mean, it could have been like Bernard or
Larry.
or Tyrell or Bic Nguyen, or Shish Kebab.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It could be.
I think it's also cool whenever we do a build like this to kind of look at, when this truck came out and see like what this truck would have been used for. What was the demographic of buyer that would have bought this truck and used this truck, and kind of put some characteristics back into it as we do our refresh on it and as we build it to kind of our image.
Yeah, especially being a California car. What was it used for? My neighbor Bill came over, and he said that he used to see these trucks growing up, and people used to just put their surfboards in there. Surfers would use it. It's like cheap.
So can you guys give me a quick tour of the truck?
Sure, go ahead.
Mike, so
Right,
for
Mike.
those listening on the podcast, we'll have the video up on YouTube if you want to see these certain parts of the car.
So basically, overall, like I said, we are starting out with like a super solid body. There's basically no rust on this entire thing. Everything that's on here is very surface level. And, that's kind of the biggest issue that you deal with when you're doing one of these builds is, they're 60 years old, and that's 60 years of rust that you kind of have to address.
So if there is rust, that's bad, right? Like
yeah, it's
really
just
bad?
a pain.
Oh, okay.
It's just more of a pain.
It's like cancer.
Yeah, it's just not fun to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, metal's repairable, so basically anything's repairable. But it's just not fun.
Yeah.
And if there's a little bit of rust, there's normally a lot of rust.
Yeah.
And
So it's good that there's no rust on this.
yeah, we got way lucky with this, and especially these old trucks. They were not built very sturdy. Like they are very thin sheet metal, and so for us to find something this solid is, I'd say, very rare.
Nice.
So yeah, we're really happy with it, and it's complete. You know, when you're looking at a vehicle like this to buy, little pieces like, you know, this trim right here. A lot of these older cars, you can't find those. So if the truck didn't come with it, you'll have a pretty hard time replacing it. And this car's pretty much 100% complete. And once again, we're really lucky. Like things like the radio, like that radio, I'm sure is impossible to find. And yeah, so we stumbled on a good one. Stumbled on a good one.
Imagine if we lost that cap for the bed.
Yeah.
We have to fabricate that.
Yeah, stuff like this. This is
It's
kind
like
of cool.
a smuggler's box for I don't know what.
Yeah, you got to get a screwdriver to pop it, I think. Oh, there it goes.
What's
So
that?
that's how you access the fuel tank, and that's Kane factory. And like, I mean, little things like this was a truck. When it came out, it was used for truck things, such as putting rocks and dirt and gravel in the bed, and this bed's completely straight. A lot of these things you find, you know, with big dents in them or whatnot, and this thing is just super solid. So,
Nice.
one of the design characteristics that Datsun did is that they did this little step from the cab to the bed, and it's a line that to some is aesthetically unpleasing. And
To who? To you.
I don't know about to me.
It was.
It was originally, and then it grew on me because I was like, that's kind of what the original Datsun designers did, and it'd be kind of cool to embrace that.
But there was a sports model that had the line there with like Cadillac more sleek lights. So there was three models of this truck. There was the sports sleek version, which they lined up what Mike was telling you about. They evened the lines up, and then in the back it looks like old Cadillac Bel Air lights. And then also they had a U320, which was a 4-seater with a shorter bed, almost like a El Camino.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so I think like just the awkwardness, you know, like on the front of the car, you got all these round edges and everything's nice and round and fit right. And then you go to the bed and it's just wall. Like it's very boxy. And like such as the fender flares, you know, the rears are very squared off and the fronts are very rounded.
Oh, I see.
And this truck's very unproportional, but it's beautiful in that way, in my opinion. And so I think we're going to potentially embrace it. We're kind of up in the air on a lot of things on this right now. And like we kind of talked about before, I think we're going to sit on it and drive it around the way it is and just kind of feel what it wants to be. And once we figure that out, go for it.
About this tailgate.
Yeah, so this thing swings up like that. And this is kind of a interesting design characteristic is the split bumper. And I think, you know, that's another thing that kind of made this truck unique. A lot of the, you know, trucks had a single piece bumper, and this had two separate ones.
Like the Firebird.
Yeah.
Firebird, right?
Is it?
Is it Firebird or Camaro? There's a Camaro split bumper, right?
Oh, really?
Or Firebird? Pontiac Firebird? Or Camaro split bumper? Anyway, sorry.
But that's a very like different characteristic of this truck that you don't really see. So I think that would be possibly cool to keep and embrace. So
Nice.
And like things like, you know, like the bed hooks. I mean, this was a truck that was used for truck things like tying down whatever your tractor.
Where do you think you learned your like appreciation for old things, Mike? Like some people just want to like swap everything out for the latest and greatest, right? But where'd you learn? Because I feel like it's like using old tools for like, today's art. This is kind of a way for me to use old technology,
Yeah.
but then present it in a modern way. Where'd you learn? Where'd you learn the appreciation?
I think that's a good question. I think it kind of came from being in the automotive world my whole life and always seeing the newest and the baddest and the craziest and the conversion cars that had all this modern technology in it, and just really kind of taking a step back and saying, original's now cool. It's almost like a reverse thing that happened. Like once you kind of see all the crazy, you start to appreciate the not so crazy and start to see the beauty and originality.
How old were you when you went to your first SEMA?
I was 16.
16.
Nice.
That's not true. I think I was actually 12. You have to be 16 to go to SEMA, though.
Beep, beep. Well, beep that.
But yeah, and I've been every single year, and it's definitely a highlight of my year. And I've made amazing relationships there. That's where I met Sung. And yeah, it's just kind of been a big part of my life and kind of shaped my styling and appreciation for cars.
So all those cars you've seen all through your life, and you've never seen one of these in person, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. That's what's exciting, is that if you haven't seen this...
Well, have you seen it?
No.
I mean,
What?
not that to say that you're much older, but
I am.
yeah.
I'm like twice his age. But I've never seen one. I never knew these existed. So it's like opened my eyes to a whole new like world of Datsuns like that's been ignored. Like, but there is a community, but I'm like, man, these cars are like art pieces now. Like this is part of history. I need to celebrate this. And then to have this like master fabricator, mechanic, lover of Datsuns, that's also passionate about, creating something like special. Not just for the sake of making something cool, but doing something that will kind of be here beyond, us and leave a legacy. And it's like, we'll use this car to teach, it's a shared experience to teach people how to drive a manual car, or just share it with someone who already knows how to drive a manual car, but they never drove something on the column.
Yeah, can you show
Just
me that?
share.
Someone show me that?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
What are you guys talking about? I don't understand this column
Yeah, so
tree.
normally in a manual car, you'd have the gear selector coming up through the center of the floorboard, and that's how you would pick which way you want to go in. But here, it's on the column, and and I don't know the shift pattern for this, but like I know on like some of the older Chevys and Fords, it's not like first, second, third, fourth. It's like first, second, like do something weird, third, fourth, and it makes the driving experience different and fun.
I've actually seen that when I was traveling in Burma.
Yeah,
A lot of the cars and taxis were still. What do you call it? So it's
Four in the tree.
Yeah, so they would.
Column. What's the technical term?
So like the common term is all the old Fords and Chevys were 3 on the tree. So everyone would either say 4 on the floor or 3 on the tree. This is actually a 4 on the tree. So it's a 4-speed. I'm guessing first gear is very much a grainy gear, meaning that like it's just for torque and it might top out at 50 miles an hour.
The tree is more of a slang. It's more of like straight slang. Instead of going, oh, there's 4 gears on this rod, aluminum rod, with the little ding-a-ling-ding on the end. You go, yo, man, that's 4 on the tree. That's what you got 3 on the tree.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
4 on the aluminum steel rod with the little ding-a-ling.
But still, you still have to use a clutch, everything, right?
Oh yeah, it's all still the same. You still got to use your clutch and whatnot. Basically, it just moves it from here to here.
Nice. What else is in here? What like some of your favorite parts of this?
I mean, obviously, that's obviously the best part of this thing so far.
Squeeze that again. What is that? Describe that.
You're gonna have to get Sung to try to
What is
go
that?
through
Can you
the-
describe that, Sung? What
Which
is that?
one? Which one?
The thing hanging upside down on the mirror.
Oh, that's the samurai. That's the
Oh,
samurai.
you know, just a samurai.
no,
big
no,
deal.
that's the sumo.
Sumo, yeah.
That's Sumo Bob.
Sumo Bob.
The Sumo Bob. He's from New Orleans. I bought him in New Orleans when I was shooting Bullet to the Head with Sylvester Stallone. It was actually on my Schwinn bicycle, but I felt like Sumo Bob wanted to hang out with a fellow Japanese. And so Oppa, his Japanese roots, and Sumo Bob are friends now.
Meant
Nice.
to be.
Hey, you know, let me get a little Spanish lesson tonight.
All right.
Do you know what cojones means? It's Cajones, cojones.
I've heard of it.
So, Oppa has really big cojones, strong steel cojones. Mike,
You got to be careful. You can't get too close. But there
that's
they are.
Wait, it's too bright. It's too bright.
the cojones.
You can only leave that open for a
That's
couple minutes at a time. You gotta
Oppa's
close it.
cojones. See, he's very protective of Oppa's cojones. Just please shut it and lock it. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
See, you
All right.
got to give the car not only a heart, but you got to give him some cojones too. There you go.
The other thing is, I know you kind of talked about it before, but the 60 horsepower badge, you know, in a
Yeah.
day and age that we live in right now where, you know, factory cars are pushing 1,000 horsepower and now
factory.
we're in this numbers game of just big numbers.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful to like go back and see like they were proud of this 60
Proud.
horsepower, you know, like that was big numbers back
You know when they pulled up in this car back in '63 when the dude bought this car. Let's say his name was like Jamal.
Yeah.
And he pulled up and he saw you, right, in your little like 45 horsepower. Pulled up. I would like, if this was my car, that was your car right there. I would pull up and I'd go, "Yeah, what's up?"
Yeah.
60 horsepower.
And then they'd look inside and they'd be like, "Oh, Jamal's got the 4 on the tree," and then it'd be game over.
4 in the tree.
That's right.
It's not just the steel rod with a little ding-a-ling. Yeah, then you went home and you talked to your wife, Barbara, and you were like, "Barbara, just had a horrible day. Because Jamal, he got 60 horsepower. I feel inadequate. I only got 45. What am I going to do?" Barbara's like, "Whoosh, snap out of it. Snap out of it. It's not about the horsepower." You're like, "You're right. You're right, Barbara."
So, so 60 horsepower. So what are you guys envisioning for this entire build? Like more horsepower, more what? Or like what are you guys envisioning?
Definitely more horsepower.
I mean, more horsepower is more better, always. And
Double digits for sure.
easy.
Double digits is our goal. We're aiming high.
You mean triple digits? Yeah. We're already in that double digit.
You hope.
The last double. 99 is what we're going for. Or 63.
Yeah, 63.
Just give us
yeah.
3 more. Give us 3 more.
We're just looking for more. How about that?
Yeah. He might not want more.
Yeah, that's true.
You might, like my father-in-law's 88. Like when I give him like a big steak, he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
He just wants just a little bit. He said it's enough. He goes, for him, he just needs a little bit. He doesn't need the whole like tomahawk.
He might just want the little end piece.
He might just want 3 horsepower.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see. I'm hoping he has a big appetite and, we go to 99
Yeah.
or even 100. If we could go 100, that's the fastest 310 in the history of the world.
That's true.
So your 2 last builds, FuguZ's and Underdog, you basically created this community to have people come and work on the car. Is that something you want to do this time too?
I don't think at the same level. I think the spirit of this car, I think is just kind of grassroots, simplistic. it's like a true starter car, and I think the reason I love the idea of working with Mike is that, he recently opened his shop, Purpose. What's your
Purpose-built motors.
Purpose-built motors. I'm a horrible salesman for it. But anyway, he recently opened his own business, and I want to support, young men like him that make a living working with their hands and that have passion in what they do, and also are good mood dudes, that do the right thing kind of dudes that inspire me, just hanging out, and someone that you want to hang out with and spend hours with, and go through a journey together, learn together, teach, mentor, be mentored. Like, his knowledge of engines and all the mechanics of a car is like, man, I'm not even a white belt compared to him. He's already like like 2-stripe black belt, right? So he's like 2nd degree, 3rd degree right there. I'm like, I didn't even worry. I'm still in a t-shirt. Like, I'm in sweats. Like, I'm still visiting like the weekly free class compared to Mike. That's what I am. So, that's the whole spirit of this car. It'd be nice to get other young, passionate car guys that are doing their thing. And, if it be it, upholstery or paint or suspension or engine parts or...
Yeah, and just kind of pulling in the community and reaching out as needed. At the end of the day, we do this for fun. We're doing this because, we do it for fun. And I think that was one of the things that Sung and I kind of both agreed on in some of the builds that we've done, is like the most fun times that we've had is just kind of working late at night, wrenching, like,
Yeah. We don't want any deadline.
Yeah.
We don't want any sponsor kind of, conditions or obligations where we're building it because there's some other underlying reason for it. I think this one we just want to build because, first of all, it's a horrible time in the world. This whole coronavirus is keeping everybody isolated. There's like massive depression that's happening. I think if I didn't have a project like this and I didn't have you guys here, man, I'd be going crazy. Why is that door open? Oh, hello. I got that. We're in my garage, so I got to take out the garbage. Oh, we're on camera. All right. So, hold on. I got to do my chores. Go ahead, Mike. Keep talking.
Yeah, but just like the simplicity of building this thing just like in a garage is just kind of cool, just taking a step back, rather than having this big budget crazy build plan. It's kind of cool to do it a little slower and kind of do more of a backyard garage build.
It's a blessing, man. I don't know what I would I think I'd be going crazy right now. Can't go to the gym, can't go anywhere. Man, you don't want people like strangers over here, a whole bunch of people. So I think without this Oppa project, I don't know. It really is like older brother coming in, like going, all right, I'm gonna help you guys out. So, yeah.
So it doesn't sound like decisions are made yet, or...
Well, we want to talk to a render artist and give our like design cue ideas and inspirations and see what another artist can do, or kind of digest our ideas and then put it in a 3D image, right?
Okay.
Or 2D at least, and then kind of use that as like a map of going, yeah, like that doesn't work, the paint here, or this and that. So I think that's a conversation that's going to happen with the three of us. I found a render artist, this amazing guy in the UK, England, and he's working from home, and it'd be kind of cool to kind of show that this collaboration is happening, like, across the pond like this, virtually, but there's like this common passion for cars. And yeah, man, our initial like correspondence, like he's totally jazzed that this has never been done, and it's going to challenge him. He doesn't have a model to base, his rendering off of, so he's going to have to kind of hand stitch it by himself. So it's going to be cool, I can't wait to like talk to him and, pick his brain, and see what he comes up with after we share our ideas and inspiration.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you're still taking suggestions though, right?
Oh yeah.
Like just different.
Not everyone. Like some people are like, hey, you should, put some, like underglow.
I don't even
Nah,
know
we
what-
ain't doing that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, no, I think it's important to kind of reach out and just kind of see what the masses just envision. I mean,
You want underglow?
I'm not opposed to it. We
This
can
is
discuss
underglow.
it later.
All right, let's.
As long as it's like blue or something, that'd be kind of sick though.
I knew it. I knew you were an underglow guy.
Cool. So yeah, I guess everyone just stay tuned on Sung's Garage and find
Yeah.
out the.
And give us your ideas too, man. Any ideas? Or if anybody's ever worked on one of these cars, just like help us out. If you have suggestions, send us some images. Like, I think this can be all of our cars. Like, while we're locked up, let's all kind of just reach out and let's see what we can come up with together. That'd be really cool. So, Oppa, I think everybody needs Oppa right now. And, maybe we can come together and make something positive out of this horrible time. All right, guys. See you later. Boom.